Who was in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
The lock, like tell me something. Like, you know what I mean? And the most I could get was, I never got if the door was locked and I just had to break it down. Because if the door wasn't locked, that means somebody left out.
Right.
If the door was locked, that means he felt good, he locked it, he was in there.
Right.
It's a whole different level of what happened. A lot of shit goes out the window if I just know that part.
Right.
But then, it's like, I heard some shit about he had his clothes on or something. I don't know. Like, I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me.
Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough? You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston?
So, Diddy's back to playing dirty, and this time he's dragging Jay-Z into the mud. Word on the street is there was more to that tape Pimp C might have been sitting on. And now the truth is finally starting to come to light. And if you've been tapped in with the streets, you already know those rumors about Pimp C's death, and that alleged tape involving a major celebrity. Pimp and Ken, the guy who rolled heavy with him, have been loud about it for years. Ken even claims he's actually seen the tape.
Who was in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
But here's the catch. He never named names. The streets, though, connected the dots real fast, and the name that kept popping up, none other than Beyonce. Now let's switch gears for a second and talk about Diddy and Jay-Z. We all know how close they were at one point, right? They ran the game together. But last year, when Diddy got hit with those RICO charges, Jay-Z didn't waste a second distancing himself. Jaguar Wright, the ever-vocal industry insider, even called Jay-Z out for bailing on Diddy. She compared their bond to peanut butter and jelly, saying it was solid. But Jay, he didn't stand by his boy when the heat came. Tell me something.
Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly. Let's deal with the sandwich.
The fallout was real, and fans started wondering what was really going on behind closed doors. Now, Diddy's name is getting cleared of those RICO charges, but it's starting to look like that friendship is dead and buried. And word on the street, Diddy's already making moves from behind bars. Which brings us to the real heat, Beyonce's involvement. Word is her name's about to come up big in Diddy's trial, and the dirt is wild. We're talking everything. Her alleged participation in those freak-off parties, what she knows about Cassie, about girls being transported across borders, and even what Jay-Z did to keep it all under wraps. Folks say Jay-Z's involvement goes even deeper. He's been trying to keep things quiet, but the whispers just won't die. Word is, Jay-Z's been complicit, and it's all tied to Diddy's alleged mess. But it's not just about the freak-offs. The real smoke comes from what Beyonce's past could reveal. The streets have been talking about her dark history, especially with Pimp C. Yeah, the same Pimp C who was never exactly a fan of Jay-Z. Let's not forget, Pimp C straight up dissed Jay-Z and turned down $1 million check. That's right, Pimp C wouldn't even take Jay's money.
It was 100,000. When Dame cut that $1 million, I called Pimp on the phone like, yo, Pimp, and him and Jamal was in the house. And I could hear a tussle or some type of confrontation, right? And I'm like, calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. Okay, they was fighting like hard. And I'm like, Pimp, stop whatever you doing right now. I told you what was going down with Jamal when you moved him up in there. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. All we want was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check to go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
People who rolled with Pimp said he always thought Jay-Z and his camp were on some shady business. And let's be real, there was a reason for that. Pimp C never played by the industry rules. He called out everybody, from Diddy to Jay, and he didn't care who heard it. That kind of energy, it gets you noticed, but it can also get you targeted. Some even believe that's the real reason Pimp C was taken out. Could it be because he knew too much? Because he got too close to something dangerous? The whispers have never stopped, and here's where it gets darker. The connection between Beyonce and Pimp C might not be what you think. Word is, Beyonce and Pimp C had their own little interaction back in the day. Some even say they hooked up. And that's the real reason Jay-Z was so protective. There's even a story that when Beyonce was in the studio with Pimp C, Jay called in and had everyone cleared out, just to make sure no one got too close to his woman.
He's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing? They describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video.
Imagine that. Pimp C and Beyonce locked in the same room, and Jay has to make sure nobody's around. That's a whole different kind of energy, but it doesn't stop there. After Pimp C's death back in 2007, rumors started flying that Jay-Z might have had something to do with it, especially considering his relationship with Beyonce. Some people say he might have been trying to protect his wife's reputation. After all, Jay was running deep in the music industry, and Pimp C had been very vocal about the shady things happening behind the scenes. Now let's keep it a buck. When the official cause of death dropped, a lot of folks didn't buy it. The coroner said Pimp C's death was caused by a mix of heavy lean use and sleep apnea, but the whole thing just didn't sit right. Pimp C was staying at the Mandarin Hotel in West Hollywood, working on new music and performing with Too Short. On the morning of December 4th, 2007, Pimp was supposed to fly back home. His wife and cousin were waiting to pick him up at the airport. But when they couldn't get a hold of him, his wife called the hotel to check in. That's when they found him unresponsive in his room, and paramedics pronounced him dead shortly after. Now here's where it gets messy. DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia said Pimp's manager described the scene. Pimp's body was found lying like he was praying, but there was blood everywhere, like he'd been hit. They even thought he might have been struck in the head, but it just didn't add up. Too Short, who was tight with Pimp, said the official explanation never gave him any closure, and to this day, he still can't accept what went down.
locked, like tell me something. Like, you know what I mean? And the most I could get was I never got if the door was locked and I just had to break it down. Because if the door wasn't locked, that means somebody left out.
Right.
If the door was locked, that means he felt good, he locked it, he was in there.
Right.
It's a whole different level of what happened. A lot of it goes out the window if I just know that part.
Right.
But then it's like I heard some shit about he had his clothes on or something. I don't know. Like I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. I never really heard it.
Even Jaguar's been saying it was a hit. Allegedly,
Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
so did Pimp C know too much? Was he silenced for it? The whispers are getting louder, and more people are starting to connect the dots. Pimp's death is giving off the same energy as Brittany Murphy, Aaliyah, and Heavy D. All names people still whisper were taken out. And now the streets are side-eyeing Jay-Z real hard. If your ear's been to the ground, you know this isn't the first time Jay's been accused of pulling strings to get someone out of the way for Beyonce. Aaliyah's name keeps coming up, with people saying Jay might have had a hand in her untimely death, just to clear the path for his queen.
Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling.
So if that Pimp C tape was real and he was sitting on it, it might have made him a target. Now the question everyone's asking is, was Beyonce really just an innocent bystander in all of this? Or was she complicit? One user wrote, Pimp's case needs to be reopened. Another said, Beyonce knew what was going on. She and Jay-Z were part of everything. So if Pimp C had that tape and it got him marked, what does that say about the power moves happening behind the scenes? Could Jay really be connected to the big names taken out just to protect his empire and Beyonce? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're all in for raw truths and bold takes, hit that like, smash subscribe, and click on the next video that's popping up on your screen right now.